Welcome. Today we're diving into Rupal Patel's book, From CIA to CEO.
Oh, very
It's
cool.
a fascinating read. We'll explore how she transitioned from a CIA analyst to a successful entrepreneur.
And more importantly, we'll uncover how the skills she honed at the CIA apply to, well, really any field.
Exactly. She offers a unique perspective on achieving success and fulfillment, drawing on her experience in a high-stakes world.
It's remarkable how she takes that experience, and translates it into practical advice, like for corporate
And
leaders.
entrepreneurs, even for like everyday people, just looking to unlock their potential.
Absolutely. There's something for everyone in this book.
So, to set the stage,
Yeah,
let's start with RuPaul's background.
sure.
She grew up on Staten Island
Okay.
in a multicultural household.
Interesting.
Her family was a vibrant mix of, engineers, doctors, and what she describes as free thinkers.
Got it. So a real melting pot of perspectives. I bet that shaped her worldview from a young age.
It definitely did. And as with many children of immigrants, there was an expectation, kind of pressure for her to pursue like a traditional career path.
The classic doctor, lawyer, engineer route.
Right, but she took a different turn.
Sounds like she was drawn to something else, something less conventional.
Instead of that well-trodden path, she felt this pull towards data analysis,
Mm-hmm.
languages,
Mm-hmm.
and complex systems.
Kind of carved out her own niche.
She did, and it led her on a very unexpected journey, a chance encounter, believe it or not, with a CIA officer.
Whoa, the CIA. Talk about a life-altering experience.
It really was. Imagine, being recruited by the CIA.
I mean, I can't even fathom.
So this wasn't some like quick decision or an easy process.
No, I'd imagine not.
It took a full year of rigorous vetting.
Wow.
Background checks, interviews,
Oh, sure.
security clearances, the whole 9 yards.
And once she was in, what, like straight into high-pressure situations?
That's exactly what happened. Think about this. She was like in her 20s,
Mm-hmm.
and she was informing counterinsurgency strategies in active war zones,
No way.
participating in nation-building efforts, even advising, get this, international military and intelligence officers.
At such a young age, that's an extraordinary level of responsibility. I mean, I can't even imagine.
It's mind-boggling, but it speaks volumes
Yeah.
about, the skills she developed at the CIA.
Analytical prowess.
The ability to handle complex information
Yeah.
under intense pressure.
Right. And these very skills became the foundation for her success later on when she transitioned into the business world.
So she thrived in that environment, the high intensity CIA world.
Yeah.
But there was always this nagging feeling that there was something more out there,
Like a different calling.
a new challenge, and that's when her CIA training came full circle in a way.
What do you mean?
Instead of analyzing global threats, she turned her analytical skills inward.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. So she became her own subject of intelligence gathering.
Exactly. She took a deep dive into understanding her strengths, her passions, her frustrations, applying the same rigorous techniques used in global affairs to her own life.
It's like she used the CIA playbook to decipher herself.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
It is, and that self-analysis led her to create this tool she calls the backstory exercise.
Okay, tell me more about this backstory thing. How does it work?
It's pretty straightforward. It basically encourages you to examine your most fulfilling experiences
Okay.
and also your most frustrating ones.
Mhm.
And by like mapping those out, you can identify, the environments where you thrive and the skills that bring you the most satisfaction.
That's really smart. It's almost like a blueprint for aligning your actions with your personal values, right?
Yes, and it could benefit anyone, whether they're thinking about a career change or just want more fulfillment in their current role.
Makes sense. So it's about understanding what truly motivates you. Did she stop there?
Oh, she didn't stop there.
Yeah.
She took those self-insights and then figured out a way to optimize her time and energy.
Okay, how so?
She developed a framework she calls do, dump, delegate.
Do, dump, delegate? Catchy? Tell me more.
It's basically a system for ruthless prioritization. You take all your tasks and you divide them into these three categories.
Okay, so what are the categories?
Things you should do because they're high value and you enjoy them.
Got it.
Things you should dump because they just drain your energy.
Okay.
And then the things that you should delegate because someone else can handle them more effectively.
Makes sense. It's all about being intentional with your time, right?
Right, aligning your efforts with your values and your energy levels. It's not about, achieving this impossible level of perfection.
Right. It's about working smarter, not harder. That's a principle that makes sense, whether you're, in intelligence gathering or business leadership.
Exactly. Now, RuPaul also talks about personas in her book.
Personas. Okay, what does she mean by that?
It's like, how undercover agents have to adopt different identities for different missions.
Right.
Well, she suggests that we can all benefit from leveraging different personas in various situations in our own lives.
So, understanding and harnessing the different facets of ourselves?
Exactly. It's about recognizing that certain traits are more beneficial in certain contexts. She talks about identifying and harnessing positive personas
Mm-hmm.
while mitigating the negative ones. Like, for example, if you have a confident presenter persona,
Right.
you would want to consciously tap into that before a big presentation.
It's almost like putting on a mental suit of armor, equipping yourself with the attributes you need to succeed in that situation.
Exactly. And to help you do that, she introduces this tool called the Personal Energy Map, or PM.
PEM. Okay, what's that?
It's essentially a way to track your energy levels and your mental states throughout the week.
Oh, interesting. Why is that important?
Well, imagine knowing, that Tuesday afternoons are your creative peak,
Okay.
or that Friday mornings are best for routine tasks. You could structure your whole week around your peak performance times.
Wow, I like that. So instead of fighting those natural energy fluctuations, we could actually harness them.
Exactly. The PEM can help you do that. Work with your natural rhythms, not against them.
Smart. That's a great way to enhance productivity and reduce burnout.
Now, this ties in nicely with another concept she emphasizes: situational awareness, or SA.
Oh, interesting. Didn't she hone that during her time in the CIA?
She did. It was vital in that high-stakes environment.
Right.
But she argues that it translates surprisingly well to everyday life.
So how does essay play out in, say, a more commonplace scenario?
Well, imagine you walk into a meeting and the atmosphere is tense.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you picking up on the nonverbal cues,
Mhm.
the subtle shifts in body language?
Right. Right.
That's SA in action.
It's about being present, adaptable to your surroundings.
So it goes beyond like just physical awareness.
Yeah.
It's about reading the room, understanding the dynamics at play.
And adjusting your approach accordingly.
Exactly. She even suggests manipulating things like scents,
Sense
lighting, visuals, even sound.
to create a more conducive workspace.
Yes. To facilitate, optimal performance.
So in a way, you become like the stage manager of your own life.
That's a great way to put it. You're crafting the optimal environment to support your mental state, your productivity.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Really insightful.
It's fascinating how all these tools, all these techniques that RuPaul talks about, they all seem to point towards this bigger goal.
Yeah.
This idea of identifying your personal mission.
Right. Like a guiding purpose, a driving force that transcends just having a career. It's about figuring out not just what you do, but why you do it.
It's about connecting your daily actions to like a larger sense of purpose.
The kind of fulfillment that a paycheck can't buy.
Exactly. And to help uncover this mission, she adapts a framework from her CIA days, the intelligence cycle.
Wow. Okay. So she's applying that same rigorous analytical process used to decipher like global events to help people uncover their inner compass.
That's exactly right.
Mm.
She starts by having you define your ideals. Like, what would your ideal day look like?
Uh-huh.
Your ideal lifestyle, your ideal legacy.
So envisioning the most fulfilling versions of your daily routine, your life overall, and the impact you want to leave behind.
Yes. You're
Yep.
essentially clarifying what truly matters to you, the values, the activities that bring a sense of purpose and satisfaction.
It's a good starting point, but then how do you go from just thinking about this stuff to actually, putting it into action?
That's where the next step comes in, gathering intel. But instead of looking at, global events, you're reflecting on your own past experiences, both the positive and the negative.
So it's like we're conducting a background check on ourselves, right?
Precisely. Look back and identify those moments where you felt truly alive. The times when the hours flew by.
The things that felt more like play than work.
Right. You're searching for clues within those moments, looking for what energized you.
What really engaged you, those endeavors that tapped into your natural talents.
And it doesn't end there. Once you've gathered all this intel, you have to analyze it.
Look for recurring themes.
Right. It's about connecting the dots, searching for those underlying patterns that reveal your core motivations, your aspirations.
Right. So you can pinpoint those key elements that have to be present for you to have a true sense of purpose.
Yes. And then, armed with this knowledge, you can then craft your mission motto.
Okay, so it's like a personal mantra,
Think of it as your guiding principle.
a compass to keep you on course through life's, unpredictable turns.
And she emphasizes keeping it concise,
Yeah.
action-oriented. But having a mission motto is just one piece of the puzzle.
Right. To achieve big goals, you need support.
You need to assemble what she calls your ops team.
Ops team. I like that. Your personal board of directors.
Exactly. It's about
Yes.
surrounding yourself with people who understand your vision,
Mhm.
who believe in your potential,
People who are there to offer encouragement.
and constructive criticism.
It's like having, a team of mentors, advisors, and accountability partners all rolled into one.
And they should have diverse perspectives, people who can offer insights beyond your current knowledge base.
So not just people who agree with you, but people who challenge your assumptions, who broaden your horizons.
Creating a dynamic ecosystem of support. But sometimes assembling this ops team, it might require making some tough decisions.
Right, because not everyone in your current social circle is going to understand or support the path you've chosen.
There might be a disconnect between, what you want and what those closest to you expect.
Sometimes it's those closest to us who unintentionally hold us back. It's not out of malice, but out of a desire to protect us.
And those can be difficult conversations to navigate.
So how do you balance, respecting their perspective while also staying true to your own path?
It's about setting boundaries, communicating your goals clearly, seeking understanding without necessarily expecting them to fully embrace your choices,
Allowing relationships to evolve.
without diminishing the love and respect that you share.
But how do you go about finding those individuals who can, truly be a part of your ops team?
That's a great question. I think for a lot of us, we might not even know where to start.
Well, first, look at your existing network.
Okay.
Are there colleagues,
Yeah.
mentors, friends, people who have already demonstrated, support, who have offered guidance?
Look for people who believe in you, who have a track record of offering helpful advice.
And don't be afraid to reach out to people you admire, even if you don't know them personally.
Right.
Lots of successful people are very willing to share their insights with those who are genuinely seeking, guidance.
And there's always online communities, networking platforms.
Right. Those are a great way to connect with like-minded people, potential mentors.
And remember, building a strong network requires effort.
It takes intentionality, stepping outside of your comfort zone.
And as our needs change,
Uh-huh.
as our aspirations change, our ops team should change too.
It's an ongoing process.
So success is rarely achieved in isolation.
Hmm.
Building a supportive network, recognizing the power of collaboration, of mentorship, it's key.
It's about surrounding yourself with people who believe in your potential.
Now let's shift gears a bit. Let's dive into Rupal's do dump delegate
Mm-hmm.
framework.
Okay.
It's a really practical approach to managing your time and energy, making sure that you're really focusing on those high value activities that actually align with your mission.
It's about cutting through the noise, right?
Yeah.
Making sure you're prioritizing, the stuff that truly matters.
Yeah, we only have so much time, so much energy. This helps us make more conscious choices.
Yeah.
About where we invest those precious resources.
So walk me through this framework. How does it actually work?
Okay, so RuPaul basically divides tasks into 4 quadrants based on 2 criteria:
What are those criteria?
how much you enjoy doing something and how valuable it is.
Okay.
So the first quadrant, the do quadrant, is for things that are both enjoyable and high value.
Got it. So things you should prioritize and protect.
These are the things that energize you, that contribute to your overall
The
success.
sweet spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you've got the dump quadrant, and that's where we put all those activities that are neither enjoyable nor valuable.
And time wasters.
The things that just drain your energy without really giving you, any real benefit.
It takes courage to let go of those.
It does, but it's so freeing. And then there's the delegate quadrant.
Okay.
That's for tasks that are that are valuable, but you don't enjoy doing them.
The things you should consider outsourcing or automating.
Exactly. Or delegating to someone else who might be better suited for them.
Makes sense. It's recognizing you don't have to do everything yourself.
And then finally, there's this fourth quadrant,
Yeah.
which is for tasks that are enjoyable,
Okay.
but they're not really that valuable. So it's okay to indulge in those every once in a while.
Right.
But they shouldn't be taking up, a huge chunk of your time. It's all about finding that balance.
It's about being intentional, making those conscious choices.
Right. But beyond that, we also have to recognize that, everyone has their own unique energy patterns.
And that's where her concept of the personal energy map, the PEM, comes in.
Yes, it's a tool that can help us map out, our energy levels and our mental states throughout the week.
So that instead of fighting those natural energy fluctuations, you can work with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By identifying your peak performance windows, you can schedule, those really demanding tasks for those times, and then save the less demanding stuff for your lower energy periods.
I can see how this approach could really help reduce stress,
So it can.
prevent burnout.
Honoring your natural rhythms.
And it connects really well with that concept of situational awareness, the SA that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Remember, she honed that skill during her time in the CIA, but how does it apply to everyday life?
Think about it this way. Imagine you walk into a meeting and the atmosphere is really tense.
Okay.
Are you noticing those nonverbal cues? The subtle shifts in body language.
Right.
That's SA in action.
It's about being present,
Observant.
being able to adapt your behavior.
So it's not just about like physical awareness, really.
Yeah.
It's about understanding those emotional undercurrents.
Adjusting your communication style accordingly.
Exactly. Rupal even suggests using sensory cues to create a work environment that's conducive to focus and productivity.
What kinds of sensory cues?
Things like sense,
Oh,
lighting,
visuals.
sound.
So you can kind of set the stage for optimal performance.
It's like, you become the stage manager of your own life.
That's a great way to put it.
You're crafting the optimal environment to support your mental state.
And to facilitate peak performance.
Exactly. But one thing that often gets in the way of achieving our goals is this phenomenon that RuPaul calls the too much not enough problem, or TMNE.
TMNE. Okay, I'm not familiar with that one. What does that mean?
It's something that many women, especially those in leadership positions, face.
Okay.
They're constantly being judged, scrutinized based on these subjective standards.
That are often contradictory.
It's like walking a tightrope where any deviation from this arbitrary, ever-shifting norm is met with criticism.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Exactly. Rupal highlights how, women are often labeled too ambitious or not driven enough, too assertive or not tough enough, too emotional or not empathetic enough.
Yeah, it's a double bind.
It's incredibly frustrating. And she attributes it to these deeply ingrained social conditioning, that views women's leadership through this distorted lens.
So what can be done to combat this double standard?
Rupal encourages women to challenge those limiting beliefs.
Okay.
To redefine success on their own terms. Recognize that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to leadership, and that women should embrace their unique strengths.
Their own styles.
Break free from external expectations,
Yeah.
and define success based on their own values.
And their own aspirations.
Exactly. And this leads us to another really important topic, navigating criticism.
Right, which is inevitable for anyone pursuing, a bold mission.
Both internal and external criticism. It comes with the territory of putting yourself out there.
So it's about developing the resilience to handle those negative voices.
Without letting them derail your progress.
Right. RuPaul offers several strategies for managing criticism effectively. The first is to consider the source.
Right. Is it coming from someone who has your best interests at heart?
Or someone who's threatened by your success.
Right. So discern between constructive feedback that can actually help you grow versus toxic negativity that's just meant to undermine your confidence.
Right. She also suggests approaching criticism with curiosity instead of judgment.
Oh, interesting. So even if it's not delivered in the most supportive way, you can still learn from it.
See if there's any truth you can glean from it to help you improve.
Yeah, and then finally she reminds us that the most potent way to silence your critics is to prove them wrong.
To show them that their doubts are unfounded.
Actions speak louder than words.
Mhm.
Tangible results. That's the best rebuttal.
But all this focus on resilience, on perseverance, it's not just about dealing with external critics, right?
Right. We also have to learn how to manage our inner critic.
That voice of self-doubt that can be so harsh.
It could be our own worst enemy sometimes.
RuPaul suggests reframing that negative self-talk as a misguided attempt at self-preservation.
And that's interesting.
It's your brain trying to protect you from potential disappointment.
Or failure.
Right. It's not that you're, inherently flawed or incapable.
It's just fear disguised as self-doubt.
Right. And she reminds us that we have a choice. We can listen to that inner critic without letting it dictate our actions.
We can choose which thoughts we believe and which thoughts we act upon.
Right. And it's so important to cultivate a practice of self-compassion.
Okay?
Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would extend to a friend.
Recognize that setbacks, mistakes,
They're all inevitable parts of the growth process.
that self-compassion can be incredibly liberating,
It can free you from the pressure of perfectionism.
empower you to take risks. So these insights that RuPaul offers into managing criticism, both internal and
So
externally,
invaluable.
for anyone pursuing a bold vision, it's about understanding that criticism often means you're making waves.
You're stepping outside of your comfort zone.
And you need to develop the resilience to withstand those inevitable challenges, to discern between, constructive feedback that fuels your growth and toxic negativity that you should just ignore.
Right. And cultivating self-compassion along the way.
Right. Recognizing that setbacks are not a reflection of your worth, but rather they're opportunities for growth.
Now that brings us to another important point, combating mission creep.
Oh, mission creep. Oh,
It's this tendency to take on too much.
spread yourself too thin.
Lose focus.
It's like having too many irons in the fire.
Eventually, something has to give. And when you say yes to every opportunity, it actually hinders your progress towards your ultimate goal.
Because focus is essential for achieving anything ambitious.
Right. Spreading yourself too thin just leads to burnout.
Diminished results. So how do we combat this mission creep? Where do we begin?
Start by ruthlessly prioritizing your commitments. Ask yourself, what is absolutely essential for me to achieve my mission?
And then be willing to delegate,
To outsource.
to eliminate those tasks that aren't essential.
It's about identifying those activities that are truly aligned with your goals and having the discipline to say no to the ones that aren't.
And setting clear boundaries, with your time, your energy, recognizing that you can't be everything to everyone.
Right. And it's okay to change your mind. If you've committed to something and it's no longer saving you,
Or your mission.
you can renegotiate. You can step away. Our priorities evolve. Being adaptable is crucial for staying true to your mission.
So this idea of combating mission creep, it really reminds us that saying no can be just as important as saying yes.
It can be even more important. We have to be discerning investors of our time and our energy.
We have to make those conscious choices about where we direct our focus.
Yeah.
To make sure that our actions are actually aligned with our priorities.
Right. Saying no to the things that don't serve you, it actually frees you up to say yes to the things that do.
And that allows you to pursue your mission with greater clarity,
Focus.
energy.
Impact.
Now, RuPaul also talks about this idea of finding your voice
Yeah.
and speaking truth to power.
Right. Which is such a crucial aspect of leadership
But it requires both courage.
and strategic thinking.
Silence can sometimes be complicity.
Right.
We have to advocate for our beliefs,
Mm.
even when it's uncomfortable.
To drive positive change.
Right. And RuPaul acknowledges that speaking truth to power, it can be really intimidating.
Especially for those who have been conditioned to defer to authority.
Societal norms often discourage assertiveness.
Especially in women.
And breaking free from those limiting beliefs can be challenging.
It's necessary for effective leadership.
So how do we find that courage? Where do we even begin?
Start by identifying those situations where where you felt silenced or hesitant to speak up? What were the underlying fears? What were the potential consequences that held you back?
It's about understanding the root of our reluctance.
And challenging the beliefs that prevent us from using our voices effectively.
Right. And she also talks about choosing your battles strategically.
It's not about confronting every single situation, but
hmm
discerning when speaking up is essential.
And when it's more strategic to remain silent.
Right. Silence can be a powerful tool in itself.
But when it's time to speak up, do it with clarity,
Confidence.
conviction. Own your perspective.
And present your ideas in a way that commands attention.
Respect.
Preparation is key.
Rehearse your message
Anticipate the pushback.
so you can respond with composure.
Speaking truth to power requires courage, strategic thinking, and effective communication.
And this focus on effective communication, it also extends to the art of asking.
Which is such a crucial skill for achieving ambitious goals.
We often have more power than we realize,
Right.
asking for what we want, even when it feels uncomfortable.
It can unlock opportunities that we might otherwise miss.
But how do we ask effectively?
Start by understanding your audience.
Oh.
What motivates them? What are their pain points? What are their aspirations?
Tailor your message to resonate with their specific needs.
Exactly. And frame your request as a win-win proposition.
Present it in a way that benefits both parties.
It's about finding creative solutions that create value for everyone involved.
Right. And remember, rejection is not personal.
It's not.
Even a well-crafted request,
Mhm.
it may be met with a no. It's about recognizing that resilience in the face of rejection.
It's essential for growth.
Maintain that long-term perspective.
A single no does not define your worth.
Exactly. So ask for what you want. Do it with confidence. Embrace the possibility of a yes.
And even if it's a no, learn from that experience
Refine your approach.
and continue advocating for your vision. So this ability to communicate truth to power effectively.
And to master the art of asking.
It's essential for anyone seeking to lead
To
effectively.
drive positive change. It's about recognizing that our voices matter. And that using them with courage, with strategy.
It creates a ripple effect,
Now let's talk about saying no.
which is a skill that's often undervalued.
But so essential for protecting our time, our energy, our focus.
Each yes has a cost.
Agreeing to every request just leads to overwhelm.
Diluted impact. It's like overindulging at a buffet. You're left feeling stuffed and unable to fully appreciate anything.
That's a great analogy. And saying yes to the wrong things prevents us from saying yes to the things that are truly aligned with our mission, with our passion.
So how do we cultivate the courage to say no?
Start by recognizing the value of your time.
Your energy, you're a finite resource.
Every commitment depletes that resource.
Be a discerning investor. Choose where to allocate those precious assets.
Treat your time and energy like valuable currency.
And set clear boundaries around your availability. What are your non-negotiables?
Yeah.
When can you be flexible? Communicate those boundaries effectively to others.
Establish those clear parameters for involvement, both personally and professionally.
And when you do say no, do it with grace.
Clarity,
You don't have to be rude,
but you do have to be firm.
assertive.
Respect your own needs.
It's vital for maintaining your well-being,
Yeah.
your effectiveness.
And saying no, it can be so liberating.
It can.
It frees us from the guilt
The obligation.
that often accompanies the company's overcommitment. Reclaiming our time and energy for activities that are aligned with our mission.
It brings a sense of purpose.
Fulfillment.
Saying no to the wrong things empowers us to say yes to the right things.
Exactly. And then we can pursue those goals with focus, with intention.
Impact.
So these insights that RuPaul offers into the power of no, they really remind us that boundaries are essential.
For both personal and professional success.
It's an act of self-respect,
Yeah.
a commitment to prioritizing what truly matters. Now, navigating setbacks, reframing failure, that's another crucial topic that she tackles in the book.
Right. It's inevitable. Setbacks are going to happen. They're part of the journey for anyone on a
The
mission.
path to success is rarely linear.
There's going to be obstacles, detours. It's all part of it.
So RuPaul advises assessing setbacks objectively. What are the tangible
Right.
consequences? What lessons can we learn? Avoid catastrophizing.
Hmm.
Maintain perspective. One setback doesn't define your overall success.
Exactly. And focus on what you can control. You can't change the past, but you can choose how to respond.
Choose to learn from it and to move forward with greater wisdom. We
Resilience.
have agency, even in the face of adversity.
Our choices determine our trajectory more than the setbacks themselves.
So reframe failure. Reframe it as a growth opportunity.
Right.
Every mistake,
Right.
every setback,
Offers a chance to
learn
learn,
to refine your approach.
to develop resilience.
So instead of seeing failure as this purely negative thing,
Right.
view it as a valuable data point, a stepping stone on the path to success.
That reframing is so essential for maintaining momentum when you're faced with challenges.
Setbacks, they're not signs of weakness. They're opportunities for growth.
Develop the mental fortitude to bounce back.
To learn from those mistakes and to emerge stronger, more determined.
RuPaul's insights into navigating setbacks and reframing failure, they're invaluable for anyone seeking to build resilience.
Adversity is not an endpoint.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for growth, for transformation. Let's talk about embracing visibility.
Okay.
Stepping out of the shadows. This can be a challenge for a lot of people, especially those who are introverted.
Or those who have been conditioned to avoid the spotlight.
But as RuPaul points out, visibility is often a prerequisite for achieving ambitious goals.
You can't make an impact if you're hiding your light.
Exactly. So how do we embrace visibility? What's the first step?
Begin by taking pride in your accomplishments.
Right.
Recognizing your value. Ask yourself, what are
My
my
unique strengths. What makes me stand out?
right? Embrace your individuality, the value of your unique perspective.
And then once you've done that, start sharing your expertise, your experience.
But do it strategically. How can your knowledge, your skills help other people? How can you make a positive impact?
Recognize that
Hmm.
you have valuable insights and
Mhm.
find ways to share those gifts.
And think about increasing your visibility through a multifaceted approach.
Yeah.
Build a strong online presence, network, seek out opportunities to share your expertise through speaking, writing, content creation.
Put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Connect
Yeah.
with people.
Yeah.
Showcase your skills in an authentic way.
Right. And remember, visibility is not about seeking fame or attention for its own sake.
Right.
It's about amplifying your impact, reaching a wider audience, creating opportunities to make a difference.
Your voice has the power to inspire.
To empower others, stepping into the spotlight, it creates this ripple effect.
So embracing visibility reminds us that our contributions matter. That sharing our gifts with the world can create positive change.
We all have a unique story to tell.
Stepping out from the shadows, it empowers ourselves. It empowers others. Now RuPaul also talks about developing your own tradecraft.
Trade craft. Okay, what does she mean by that?
It's about recognizing that there's no one size fits all approach to success. It's about crafting your own personalized strategies
Happy needs.
to maximize your effectiveness.
So where do you start with that?
Start by taking stock of your existing skills.
Okay.
Your knowledge, your resources.
Yeah.
What are your strengths, your weaknesses? What tools and techniques have worked for you in the past?
Understand your starting point
Right.
and the assets you already possess.
And then draw inspiration from diverse sources.
Yeah.
Study people you admire
Experiment with different techniques
and find what works best for you.
and then adapt it.
Be a lifelong learner.
Constantly seeking knowledge, refining your approach.
Don't be afraid to break the rules, to challenge conventional wisdom. If something's not working,
Try something new.
experiment.
Innovate.
Create your own path to success.
It's so liberating to realize that we're not bound by tradition.
Forging our own unique approach. It can lead to breakthroughs.
Developing your own trade craft. it really empowers us to create our own toolkit for success.
Embrace your individuality,
Yeah.
leverage your strengths, and just continuously, seek out new knowledge, new strategies.
To enhance your effectiveness
Because the most successful people, they often break the mold. They challenge the status
and
quo.
create their own path.
Now, RuPaul also talks about this idea of tactical ignorance.
Tactical ignorance. Okay, that sounds counterintuitive. What is she talking about?
It's this idea that sometimes knowing too much can actually hinder your progress.
How
It can lead to analysis paralysis
Okay.
or inaction
Right.
because you perceive the risks to be too great.
You get lost in the weeds.
You miss the bigger picture. So strategic information gathering,
Hmm.
it actually involves knowing what to ignore.
Okay, so how do you determine what information to ignore? What's the process?
You start by identifying the essential information that you need to make informed decisions,
Right.
to take action. What are the factors that are actually going to influence your success? What potential risks and challenges exist?
Focus on the information that's truly relevant to your goals. Filter out the distraction.
The things that are just going to create unnecessary anxiety.
Right. Embrace your intuition,
Okay?
your experience, our gut feelings, our
Mhm.
past experiences. They offer valuable insights that data alone can't capture.
Trust your instincts. Sometimes the best decisions are a blend of logic and intuition.
And when you lack expertise, seek out trusted advisors who can provide guidance.
Support.
Recognize that you don't have to be an expert in everything. Leverage the knowledge of others. It can really accelerate your progress.
So this idea of tactical ignorance, it reminds us that information overload can be just as debilitating as a lack of information.
It's about being strategic with your information gathering.
Focus on the essentials,
Trust your instincts.
and sometimes taking action, learning by doing.
It's more effective than endless research.
Analysis.
Now let's talk about developing that unshakable confidence,
Thanks.
that inner strength, that resilience that really propels us towards our goals.
That inner knowing that you can achieve what you set your mind to.
But it's important to remember that confidence it isn't innate. It's a skill. It's something you cultivate over time.
So how do we build that unshakable confidence? What are some concrete steps we can take?
Start by acknowledging your accomplishments.
Okay.
Celebrating your successes.
So you're small.
Give yourself credit for the effort you've invested. Recognize the progress you've made.
And then embrace challenges as growth opportunities.
Right.
Every obstacle you overcome,
It builds resilience.
it strengthens your belief in your capability.
Instead of viewing challenges as threats.
Right.
See them as chances to test your limits, expand your skill set.
That's a powerful reframe.
It is. And surround yourself with people who uplift you,
Okay.
who inspire you,
Yeah.
who believe in your potential. Their belief in you can actually fuel your own belief in yourself.
It's like having cheerleaders on the sidelines,
Yeah.
encouraging you to reach for greater heights.
RuPaul also emphasizes the importance of having role models, people who have achieved what you aspire to,
Those who have walked the path that you're trying to forge.
mentors who can offer guidance, encouragement.
A real life example of what's possible. It's comforting knowing that you don't have to navigate this journey alone.
Right. Learning from those who have walked a similar path, it can be immensely beneficial.
And when looking for role models, she encourages us to think expansively,
To look beyond the obvious.
broaden our definition of mentorship.
Right. It's not just about finding someone with massive success or fame, but identifying individuals who embody the values, the qualities that you admire.
Regardless of their status.
Seek out mentors in unexpected places.
Right.
Sometimes they might not even realize they're serving as role models, but their actions, their approach to life.
It can inspire.
Right. Mentorship can come in many forms. Family members, friends, colleagues, authors, even historical figures.
And sometimes we have to become the role models that we wish we had.
Right. If we can't find someone who embodies our desired path, we might have to forge it ourselves, become an inspiration for others.
That's a powerful thought. Realizing that we we all have the potential to lead
To inspire.
through our actions and our choices. So mentorship, having role models,
Mhm.
it reminds us that we're all connected,
We're all supporting each other's growth.
creating a ripple effect of positive change.
Learning from shared experiences, both the triumphs and the failures, empowering each other to reach our full potential. Now let's talk about challenging conventional wisdom,
Okay.
rewriting the rules that no longer serve us.
This is an incredibly empowering idea.
Yeah.
Recognizing that we don't have to be bound by tradition.
By convention, we have the power to create our own path.
So where do we begin?
Start by questioning those ingrained assumptions, those beliefs. Ask yourself why do we do things this way? Are these methods still relevant?
Or are they just outdated habits holding us back?
Develop that critical eye.
Yeah.
Challenge the status quo. Recognize that past successes, they don't guarantee future relevance.
And when you identify those rules that are no longer serving you,
You have the courage to rewrite them.
we have the agency to shape our reality.
We don't have to conform to expectations that no longer align with
I
with
mean,
our values.
Our aspirations.
Right. Rewriting the rules often requires experimentation, a
Okay.
willingness to embrace discomfort. It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone, trying new things.
Learning from your
Yeah.
mistakes.
Right. Challenging conventional wisdom. It reminds us that innovation arises from questioning the status quo,
Yeah.
from finding new ways to accomplish things.
We're all capable of creativity,
Ingenuity.
embracing experimentation. It can unlock unimaginable possibilities.
Yeah.
And this idea of rewriting the rules, it connects so beautifully with RuPaul's emphasis on leveraging your full arsenal of skills, knowledge, and resources.
We all possess this unique set of strengths.
Assets.
Harnessing them fully.
It's essential for achieving our goals.
So start by taking stock of your existing skills, both tangible and intangible.
Recognize what you excel at.
What you enjoy doing, what you're naturally drawn to,
Acknowledge the value of your experiences.
both personal and professional. Recognize the skills you've accumulated along the way, but broaden your definition of valuable assets. Move beyond just, those technical skills and professional expertise.
Right. Think about your personality traits,
Your social network, life experiences, even perceived weaknesses.
which can often be reframed as strengths.
Right. Every aspect of yourself, even your perceived flaws,
Uh-huh.
they can all contribute to your success when they're utilized effectively.
So when it comes to using this full arsenal, be creative.
Experiment.
Discover new and unexpected ways to combine your skills and your resources.
Think differently. Challenge those conventional methods. Find innovative solutions that leverage your unique strengths.
So utilizing our full arsenal reminds us that we possess more resources than we realize.
Creativity,
Ingenuity.
they can help us unlock that overlooked potential. Success is not a straightforward formula.
It's a complex task.
It's woven from our diverse experiences,
So-
perspectives.
But now let's shift our focus a little bit to this idea of all source intelligence.
Okay, all source intelligence.
Essentially, it means gathering wisdom and insight from a wide variety of sources.
So not just relying on one perspective or one type of information.
Exactly. Valuable knowledge can be found in the most unexpected places.
From books, from articles,
Conversations with mentors.
personal experiences.
Even observe the world around us. So cultivate curiosity.
Actively seek out information that challenges your assumptions, that expands your understanding.
Embrace that mindset of continuous learning, recognizing that growth requires a constant influx of new ideas.
New insights, but it's also essential to filter and synthesize all this information, right? Separate the valuable insights from the irrelevant noise.
We need to develop that discerning eye.
Critically evaluate sources.
Extract the knowledge that's most applicable to our ambitions.
So this approach to all source intelligence, it really reminds us that learning is a continuous journey.
We can glean those valuable insights from a wide variety of sources if we remain open and receptive.
Knowledge is power. The more we expand our understanding of the world, of ourselves.
The better equipped we are to navigate challenges and achieve our goals.
And this leads us to another powerful concept that Rupal advocates for: If something doesn't exist, create it.
It's such an empowering idea, recognizing that we're not confined to existing resources or opportunities.
Right. We have the power to create what we need.
So adopt a mindset of possibility
Recognize that limitations are often self-imposed.
with creativity and determination.
We can overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. It's about challenging the status quo, thinking differently, being willing to experiment.
To innovate.
Right. And don't underestimate the power of collaboration. We don't
Community.
have to do everything alone. Seeking support from others, it amplifies our efforts. It accelerates our progress.
So creating what doesn't exist, it reminds us that we have the power to shape our own reality.
To bring our visions to life, it's about embracing possibilities, challenging limitations, and harnessing the power of collaboration.
To achieve extraordinary things. So
Yeah.
RuPaul's journey is truly an inspiration. It encourages us to embrace unconventional thinking,
To challenge norms.
to develop our own unique toolkit for success.
Her story demonstrates that even the most daunting obstacles can be overcome with determination
Resilience.
and a willingness to think differently. Now, before we wrap up, let's recap 10 key takeaways from our deep dive into Rupal Patel's journey.
Okay, great idea. It's helpful to solidify these powerful concepts.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, recognize the power of self-awareness,
Right. Use those tools like the backstory exercise
the personal energy map,
to really understand your strengths, your motivations.
your optimal times for peak performance.
Second, leverage the do dump delegate framework.
To manage your time, your energy effectively, make sure you're focusing on those high value activities.
Third, harness the power of personas.
Identify
Leverage those positive personas
and mitigate the impact of negative ones.
to enhance your effectiveness in different situations.
Fourth, cultivate situational awareness. Be attuned to your surroundings. Adapt your behavior accordingly, even in challenging environments.
Fifth, define your personal mission. Go beyond just your career.
Articulate that overarching purpose
That truly drives you.
that gives your life meaning.
Sixth, build a supportive ops team.
Surround yourself with those individuals who believe in your potential, offer guidance.
Keep you accountable.
Seventh, master the art of saying no. Protect your time, your energy by declining commitments that don't align with your mission or your values.
Eighth, embrace those challenges
Reframe failure.
as a growth opportunity
Extract valuable lessons from those setbacks.
and use them to propel yourself forward.
Ninth, step into the spotlight.
Embrace visibility.
Share your expertise.
Inspire others.
Amplify your impact.
And finally, remember, if something doesn't exist, you have the power to create it.
Challenge those limitations. Think outside the box. And don't be afraid to forge your own path.
So what resonated with you most from Rupal Patel's story?
What steps can you take, today?
To incorporate these insights into your own life.
We encourage you to reflect on these questions and consider how you can harness the power of your own unique journey.
The world needs your contributions. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Rupal Patel's world.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.